After watching Spider-Man Brand New Day, there's one question I can't stop thinking about. Where does Peter Parker go from here? Because after the events of this movie, Spider-Man finally feels like he's reached the version of the character fans have been waiting to see. He's older, he's more mature, he's more isolated, and now it feels like Marvel is setting him up for something much bigger. Before we get into this, I want to make it clear. This video is pure speculation. I know there are a lot of Marvel leaks out there, some more reliable than others, but I'm not coming at this video from that perspective. I'm not talking about leaked scripts or insider information. This is just me looking at what the movie gave us and trying to figure out where the story could go next. I actually used to follow Marvel leaks heavily. I would watch channels like Heavy Spoilers and keep up with every piece of information I could find. But eventually, I realized it was hurting my experience. Going into a Marvel movie knowing major plot points a month or two ahead of time took away from some of the excitement. Even worse, my YouTube algorithm became filled with spoilers, thumbnails showing post-credit scenes, and major reveals before I even had a chance to watch the movie. So I made an effort to remove that from my feed, and honestly, it made my experience with Spider-Man Brand New Day much better because I was able to go in completely spoiler free. With that being said, if you haven't seen Spider-Man Brand New Day yet, this is your spoiler warning because we are going to be talking about the post-credit scene. Alright, now let's get into it. At the end of the movie, we see a screen showing a Spider-Man tracker that appears to be locating Spider-Man at a new location. And immediately my first question was, who exactly is being tracked? Are they tracking Peter Parker? Are they tracking someone else with spider abilities? Is this another person connected to Spider-Man somehow? Because if this is Peter Parker, the biggest question is, why is Spider-Man somewhere else? And how exactly is someone able to track him from that far away? We don't know exactly how much time has passed between the events of Brand New Day and this post-credit scene. By the end of the movie, Peter and Ned are starting to rebuild their friendship, and it's possible that their relationship has grown into something completely different. Maybe Peter and Ned are working together in some kind of tactical way at this point. But the bigger question is, who sent Spider-Man there and why? And this is where my mind immediately goes to Secret Wars. We know Marvel is building towards Secret Wars after Doomsday, and while I don't believe Spider-Man will be in Doomsday, I do believe Secret Wars is where Peter Parker's story becomes really interesting. In the original Secret Wars comic, a cosmic being called the Beyonder transports a group of heroes and villains to a planet called Battleworld. Spider-Man is one of those heroes brought into the massive conflict, and that event leads to one of the most important moments in Spider-Man's history, the black suit. The reason this connection is so interesting is because of where Peter Parker is emotionally after Brand New Day. This version of Peter Parker is finally becoming the Spider-Man many of us fans know from the comics. He's alone, he's lost the people closest to him, he sacrificed his own happiness to protect everyone else. And that is exactly the kind of Peter Parker who would be vulnerable to the symbiote. The black suit isn't just a cool costume, it's a story about temptation. It's about Peter being offered something that makes his life easier. More power, less struggle. A way to escape the pain he's carrying. And after everything this Peter has gone through, that storyline would make a lot of sense. Another big question is who could be responsible for bringing Spider-Man into this bigger story? The obvious answer is Dr. Doom. Doom and Secret Wars are heavily connected in Marvel Comics, and if Marvel is building towards that event, it would make sense for Doom to play a major role in bringing heroes together or manipulating events behind the scenes. But maybe it's not Doom. Maybe it's someone else. The Beyonder is obviously a possibility because of his connection to Secret Wars in the comics. Marvel has already introduced extremely powerful cosmic beings and multiverse-level characters, so it's not impossible that they could be building towards something like that. Could it be Loki? After the events of Loki Season 2, we still don't fully know what his future role will be in the MCU. Could Marvel somehow bring Kang back into the story? That's probably the biggest reach, especially considering Marvel has moved away from that storyline. but with the multiverse, anything is possible. The truth is, we really don't know, and honestly, that's what makes this fun. But there is another interesting question about Peter Parker's future. Is Peter Parker doomed to repeat history? Because when you think about it, Peter's biggest sacrifice in No Way Home was making everyone forget who he was. He gave up his relationships and his personal life because he believed protecting them was more important. But now look at what's happening. MJ doesn't remember the life they had together, but she still finds her way back to Peter. She still connects with him. She even starts putting pieces together about who he really is. Ned is also back in Peter's life. He doesn't fully realize everything yet, but it feels like he's slowly getting closer to the truth. It almost feels like Peter is walking down the same path again. And there's an old saying, those who don't learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them. Could Peter be heading towards the same cycle all over again? Could the people he tried so hard to protect eventually end back in danger because of his identity? And if Peter does eventually get the symbiote, could that make everything even more complicated? There are so many possibilities for where this story could go. Whether this post-credits scene is setting up Secret Wars, the black suit, or something completely unexpected, I think Spider-Man is in the most interesting position he's ever been in the MCU. For the first time, Tom Holland's Peter Parker truly feels like the Spider-Man fans have been waiting for. And I can't wait to see where Marvel takes him next. Let me know your theories down below. Do you think Spider-Man is being set up for Secret Wars? And who do you think brought him there? Alright y'all, that's all I got for this one. Be sure to leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.